Hello there, welcome back to Longevity Insider. I'm your host Eva, and in this show we are talking about the latest news in the longevity industry and all of the ways we are trying to live a little or a lot longer. And today we are talking about blood biomarkers to measure every 6 to 12 months to keep track of our health. This video was requested by the members of Macromo community. We have a WhatsApp community, anybody can join. So the link will be down below in the description. And with that said, let's have a look on biomarkers to measure. Some housekeeping before we get started. I prepared a guide for you, which you can download using the link down below in the description. So you don't need to write all of these biomarkers on a napkin to know, what should you ask your GP about. So that's the easier thing, right? And then the second one I wanted to mention at the beginning of this video is where can you get tested? So you have three options. First, if you live in the EU, chances are it's covered for you by your health insurance every 2 years. So you can go to your GP and ask them, and chances are they will write you a request and you can go to the lab to get tested. There is new law that now you can request the laboratory sheet result, so you can ask your GP and they will either give you a printed version, or maybe if they are more innovative, in parentheses, they will send you a PDF. So completely free, anybody can do that, and I think everybody should do that. Second option, you can pay yourself in a lab. So you can go to any large chain such as Synlab or Unilabs and ask them to get a self-paid laboratory test. Or they usually have an e-commerce website where you can book an appointment and get tested. And lastly, you can purchase at-home tests. Some biomarkers can be measured from capillary blood, but this is limited due to the volume of the sample as well as stability. And you can buy such tests from Macromo, so you can check our website where we have different packages ranging from general health to nutrition and vitamins. And with that said, let's have a look at biomarkers. I tried to divide it into different categories so you can know what kind of thing are these biomarkers related to. So the first one, general health, and we have complete blood count. This is basically measuring counts and ratios of different particles in your blood. And here we are talking about red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. I'm sorry, it will be difficult to pronounce some of these. Hemoglobin, hematocrit, and differential. And then the second and very important biomarker is C-reactive protein, or CRP. And this is measuring the levels of inflammation in your body. So if it's increased, it might cause you some issues. The second category is metabolic health. And here we want to look at HbA1c, which is measuring, it's a protein that measures your average blood sugar over the period of last 2 to 3 months. It's better to measure this protein compared to the traditional blood sugar because that might change day to day based on what you eat before the blood test. That's usually why you should get tested fasted, and it's recommended by GPs, but if you switch and measure this protein, you don't need to. It's an average. The next category is heart health. The first one is lipid panel, which is measuring levels of cholesterol and lipid particles in your blood. And Nobody will be surprised here because we are measuring HDL cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, non-HDL cholesterol, total cholesterol, and triglycerides. Again, the pronunciation will not be 100%, so we are writing it here on the screen for a reason. The second from this category is Lp(a), and you don't need to measure this repeatedly, so you can measure it only once in a lifetime. It's caused by genetics, and this is basically determining your risk of all cardiovascular diseases, so it's amazing to get this thing measured. And lastly, from this category we have homocysteine, so that will be HCI, and it's an amino acid which is not bad, but if you have higher levels you might have higher risk of cardiovascular diseases. Now let's talk about men's health. So this will be biomarkers to be specifically measured by men. We have male hormones, so we are talking about total testosterone, bioactive testosterone, and sex hormone binding protein, or SHBG. And also prostate health, so there you should measure a prostate-specific antigen, or PSA. It's important for the guys to have good levels of testosterone as well as check their prostate. I decided to skip female hormones in this video because it's quite dependent on the cycle, so it's a little bit more complicated when and how to measure them. And if you are interested in this specific topic, please let me know. We can do a dedicated video specifically for female hormones. But moving up to everybody, we have thyroid health. So thyroid, is regulating your metabolism, so you want to check it. And here I want you to measure TSH, T3, and T4. Very important, it impacts your mood and everything, so just make sure your thyroid is okay. I had a period in my life where it was a little disbalanced and it caused me mood swings, so please check it. And related to that is liver and kidney health. Now, some of us drink a lot of alcohol or have some heavy medications, and that's why we want to check that our liver and kidney is alright. So liver proteins, I want you to measure ALT, AST, ALP, GGT, and bilirubin. And for kidney function, creatine and eGFR. And last category are nutrients. And this is especially important for those of us who want to supplement. I don't think that you should supplement blindly. I don't feel like it's very healthy because, I guess it doesn't kill you. It's just you're wasting your money. So what I personally do is that I measure these vitamins and minerals in my blood and then adjust my supplementation accordingly to the actual levels I have in my blood. And so the first category from this section is iron panel. And this is especially important for ladies. So here we want to measure ferritin, transferrin, and iron in the blood. Then the second category, electrolytes. So we want to have a look at sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. And lastly, from vitamins, vitamin D. If you live in Europe like me, it's highly likely that your vitamin D, your vitamin B12, and your magnesium levels will be lower. So I would suggest to check at least those because it can really affect your mood and fitness performance. Now, before we continue with the video, I would like to share with you a little bit more about our partner, Macromo. I want to make a huge shout out because speaking of blood biomarkers, Macromo is the right place for you to store and track them. So let me explain. We all agree that tracking the biomarkers over time, their trends, is more important than a single value in a time. And right now it's really hard because you have these PDF results sheets or printed test results, and the only way how you can track it is by manually writing it to Excel or some other app, and then you get a chart, right? Well, that's where Macromo comes in. You can upload a PDF or scan a printed result in any European language and it digitalizes your tests. The tests are stored securely and you get an overview of the entire test. You get trends over time as well as detailed explanation of each biomarker. So if you want to store and track your blood tests in a modern way, you can download Macromo. The link will be down below. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I didn't want you to write all of these shortcuts. It would be tedious. So I prepared a guide about the biomarkers you should measure in different categories. You can check the link down below in the description where you can put your email address and you will get this guide completely for free. Your health will thank me later, hopefully. So you can do that. And I hope you found this helpful. In the next episode, I'm planning to go to New York to Dundee Summit, see Brian Johnson and see what it's all about. So I think it will be an exciting episode. And with that said, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next episode. Have a nice day.